Morning, everybody. It has been a weird morning, and I'm running late, not because I wanted to be, but because I got into my office like I normally do about 15 minutes before everything gets started, and literally nothing worked. I mean, it started with this light bulb. I asked it to turn on the nonsense like you guys have seen me do before, and didn't turn, that bulb specifically didn't turn on, and so I turned it's an actual lamp, right? So I turned the lamp itself off and I turned it back on again, and boom, the light bulb turned on. But it didn't do it the way that it normally does. And then I turned around and started using my computer. And for those of you that have been here and heard about how this is kind of set up, I have a relatively beefy PC, something that's in the $700 to $800 range. That is my streaming PC, and that's what's managing all the software that handles streaming. That's what's got the camera capture happening, all that kind of stuff. But I couldn't even log into the machine. Like it started up and the mouse would move, but on Windows 10 you have this screen that has a clock and like a beautiful picture, and you click on it or hit escape or something, and that slides up, and then you can type in your login information. Well, that wouldn't go up. So then I had to reboot that machine, and then my actual laptop had, even though it was plugged in, it had completely powered down, lost all of its power. So I don't really know what kind of technology gremlins I've got in my life today, but it's not been good. And so it took me this long, about 15 minutes, to get everything set up and running and working, and I think we're good now. Good morning, Karthik. Thank you for being here. But yeah, it feels very odd to me that just everything in this room decided to really stop working today. And so my Stream Decks still aren't working. At least I don't think they are. Oh, no, now they are. That's good. So at least we've got that going for us. So I can get into the Stream Deck here in just a second, and we'll flip over and start doing some code. But one of the thoughts I had, somebody had asked this the other day, if when you're streaming, I think it might have been Kevin Evans that asked about the idea of theming your days and working on things that like, I'm going to do Alexa on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I'll do this on Thursday, whatever. I'm not a fan of that, and I think I said that at the time. But what I am a fan of is the idea that there are a number of things that I want to work on, and this channel is an important item in that list of things. And so I was thinking maybe on Fridays, just to mix it up, maybe we could start today. I really have a lot I want to do. Good morning, Kevin. I have a lot I want to do for the casino, and I think we're making really good progress on that now. But I also feel like there's a lot about this channel that I want to tweak up and play with and change. I really like this scene, and I like the name of the channel and all that stuff. So there isn't anything there that is terribly changeable. Although I think that there are some cool things that I would like to do, but I don't know if there is software out there that will do it, or if there's anything custom that I have to create. But one thing that I think would be pretty cool is to have some casino-based tickers, right? The trick with that is that I have to figure out how to I have to figure out how to like create a ticker. I don't think I've ever done that before. And then I have to figure out how to like feed information into it. Where do I create that thing? So like as an example, we have the casino, right? So you guys are constantly not constantly, but you're doing the leaderboard command frequently just to check in and see what your standings are. And so for those of you that may not be familiar with that, it looks like this. I type leaderboard, and the casino should respond. Everything is failing today. All right, give me one moment. We're just going to bring this laptop up because That one, I hadn't checked that one yet today. It looked like it was running just fine. And apparently it also has decided it's going to completely stop working. So we're going to reboot the old laptop that runs the casino. 2 moments? Wow. Kevin, you're so generous. Yeah, we just got to get this machine fired back up. Hopefully. We'll just set that over here while we wait for it to reboot. But that's kind of what I was thinking I was going to do, was to think about how do we best add content to this screen so that we can put some interesting things in there. I don't know how I control putting interesting things in there, but I do have access to some tools. So I thought we might start today by digging into that. So let's go to the everything view. Good morning, Jan Blank. Welcome, stranger. It's so nice to have a new person I've never met before. Welcome in our channel. Thank you for being here. Okay, so I have some things that I want to dig into. So let's look at the browser for a moment, and let's go to Streamlabs OBS. Because in here, I have access to their whole Prime Studio stuff. So let's log into this. Let's go. Okay, so this is Streamlabs, the website, right? And then they have all these widgets and things that we could put in. And what I really want to do, Alertbox, I think, is already the thing that I use. Yeah, this is already one. That's the one I'm using for like subscriptions and follows and things like that. So what I want is, if we come in here, is there like a search for widgets? An emote wall, stream labels, viewer count. I think that's what we have down there in the bottom right. I've used a couple of these already. This follower goal, I tried using this early on, and it doesn't work because it only seems to count followers that happen while we're streaming. And it seems that I get a decent percentage of my followers come while the channel's not running. People are finding my content another way, or as something that I'm doing somewhere else, right? I direct a lot of people here at other times. So I'm not seeing... What's CloudBot? Oh, that's like a bot that can run in the chat. Symbol protection, link protection. I don't need any of that. What are Twitch panels? No, I'm not interested in begging for money. No, I don't want any of this. My goodness. Maybe I should have a better plan before I just start doing this. I feel like I want to be able to... Themes and overlays. That sounds like a good start. I don't know what I'm seeing here. I know I need widget themes. Is that what I want? I don't even know what these things are. Have you guys played with any of this stuff? Widget themes? No. I just want like See, I don't want it to look like a game or anything like that. What I want is... engage. Alert box, event... What is event list? Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I feel like I need to spend some more time on my own doing some research, because this is already not going the way I wanted it to. But I have aspirations to tweak up this channel and make it a bit more interesting. So let's pause on that. I have this machine back up and running. So let's start the casino back up. Let's start the Alexa chatbot back up. Is that going to work? Texas 2010, give me 1 second. CD chat Cinobot node index.js. Okay. I don't think it crashed so much as the machine decided to shut down. Texas, the entire, like, all of my technology decided to die. I'm gonna put this back in its home, which is down here on the floor for some reason. But the bot is running, so poker and all that stuff should work. Let's give that a run just to verify. So if I say poker 10, yeah, cool. I'm still capable of losing 10 coins. Awesome. So I should also let Jan Blank know, in case you're a heavy gambler or really into this kind of stuff. Every time you post a message in chat, you earn a coin, and you can check your balance. I'll check your balance for you. You have... Oh, it doesn't exist. What are you talking about? Oh, because you typed that before I started the bot. I'm glad you like the game. And like I said, that's what we're working on. That's what we're building here with Alexa. So I was really thinking that I was going to work on the channel today, but I think I've been convinced that I'm going to go back to working on the skill, which is fine, because I really need to spend some research time thinking about what else I want to add on this channel and where I can find it and how it works. And I just haven't done that, and I hate just looking around on the internet while you guys are watching, because I'd rather do something productive. So where we left off yesterday, we were working on our poker hold intent, and this has kind of become a monster on its own. But the key to really all of this is, well, let's just show it. So if I go up here to the test tab, let me open a new tab, excuse me. I can say things like open chatcino. This should work, hopefully.
Welcome to the chatcino. What would you like to do?
And then I can say bet 5 on poker. Now, I already have a game, so it's going to let me know that I already have a game running, but it'll tell me what my cards are.
You already have an active game of video poker waiting for you. You wagered 100 coins. You already have a winning hand. You were dealt 10 of clubs, 10 of spades, 8 of hearts, 5 of clubs, and 2 of spades. Which cards do you want to hold?
So this is where we kind of left off, and we built some intents. There we go, Texas 2010, you're on your way. So we built some intents, and I'll show you how these work if I hit evaluate model here. So I can come in and say things like hold the 10. And what this tells me is that they want to hold, and that they want the 10 to be held. Now, they didn't indicate which 10, and so in these cases, I'm going to assume that they meant both. because there are multiple 10s, I will go ahead and hold both of them for them. But if they say hold the ace of clubs, for example, then you can see that I get the word hold, but I also get ace and I also get clubs. And so those individual words come through, and I can use those to determine how I should hold these cards. So that's going to be my next step, is to write the logic. Because we have the logic to accept a bet. We have the logic to create a deck of cards, shuffle that deck of cards, and draw the first 5 cards off the deck for the user. What we don't have right now is the ability to hold those cards, or then once they've held those cards and they say draw or deal or whatever, we don't have a way to then, well, I mean, we do have a way, but we have to write the code to evaluate what their hand is now, tell them the 5 cards that they have at the end of the game, and then tell them whether they won or lost, and if they won, how much they won. So that's all stuff that we still need to do, and I think we can get a good chunk of that done here this morning. The other piece to this, and this is why I say it's a bit of a behemoth, is because you can say hold, but let's say that you said hold the aces, or hold the ace, and I hold both aces for you, but you actually only wanted one of them because you're trying to get a royal flush or a straight or something that isn't, you're not interested in a pair. In those cases, you might want to say, oh, drop the ace of clubs because I held the ace of spades and the ace of clubs for you. So I think you can say drop the ace of clubs. And you can see there that the hold type becomes drop. So this lets me know that, hey, this is the card they're indicating to me, and they want to drop that card versus holding that card. So we'll use that knowledge, that information, as a way for us to figure out what the user wants to do. So we have, if we get back into our code here, and I always have way too many files open, so I'm going to just close them all, and we'll just start from the beginning. We are going to have a, I don't even have the handler created yet, so I think we should probably start there. Let's start with something simple. That's relatively simple. We'll say file, save as, and this is going to be the poker hold intent. So we'll call it P-O-K-E-R, hold intent. Did I named it right? That's good. So this needs to be called poker hold intent. And this does also, so that it's exported. And then, am I calling these intent or intent handlers? They're all called intent, okay. So in here, this is P, so we'll do it here. Const poker hold intent equals poker hold intent, like that. And then we need to list it down here as well. So that one will go right here with a comma. So we have poker hold intent there as well. So let's save that file. And then we have our poker hold intent code, which this doesn't actually do anything that we want it to do. So we'll take a lot of this stuff out because this is code that does other things. So we don't want these things to happen. So we'll take all of these. Speak output can be there. And then we'll probably need something like this. So I'll keep this structure just so that we have it, but I'm not going to let it run right now. And then it'll say, what do you want to play next? Okay, cool. Great. So this, here, we'll do, this is the poker hold intent. Okay, now we need to actually apply this to the Alexa skill. So if we come down here to the index file, this is like the interface that our entire Alexa skill uses. And I'll take this one here, spin roulette, and let's go up to L. We'll go right here. And we're going to say this is called poker hold intent handler. And so that means we're looking for the poker hold intent. Oh, that's not what I wanted. So this is going to be the poker hold intent. That's what we're looking for, because that's what the name of the thing is. Oh, Texas 2010 is accelerating quickly. Big wins. Okay, so we have our poker hold intent handler. We're looking for the poker hold intent, and then we actually want it to call the poker hold intent if I could type. Oh, Kevin Evans gave you 10,000. Wow. Wow. That's really nice. Okay, so we are rolling. We should now, when we say something like hold the ace of spades, we should be able to hit the poker hold intent. It should run into this code here, and it should say, this is the poker hold intent. What would you like to play next? So it's not actually going to do anything, which allows us to have a repeatable loop, at least for right now. But it should mean nothing breaks. So let's make sure all of our plumbing is working. Let's go actually test this. So if I come to the test and I say, hold the 8 of hearts.
There was a problem with the requested skills response.
See, and so we broke something. So the thing we broke, what was the thing we broke? Oh, it didn't respond. Why didn't it respond? Okay, let's get our endpoint back up. So for those of you that haven't been following along closely, I am using a tool from Bespoken that allows me to do local debugging. And there are times where it just stops working, and I think that's all that was. So I've started that service back up. It is ready to go. So let's try this again. So let's open our skill.
Welcome to the Chatsino. What would you like to do?
Hold the 8 of clubs.
There was a problem with the requested skills response.
I don't think that I understand. Am I not? What? What? Poker hold intent is listed here. Poker hold intent exists. And we would get an error if it didn't exist. Why is the response builder being passed back as nothing? Return. I don't know why these parentheses are here. I don't think it's the end of the world, but... I don't really know why that's not doing what it's supposed to do. So let's try that again. Hold the 8 of clubs.
You have video poker enabled. Do you want to open it? Welcome to the Chatsino. What would you like to do?
Hold the 8 of clubs.
There was a problem with the requested skills response.
Well, this is just dumb. Zaiva with the following... Zava? Zava. We're going to go with Zava. Welcome, welcome. I can't figure out for the life of me why this isn't working. Zava. All right, Zava, thank you. Welcome for being here. Welcome to the show. It's been a crazy morning. All of my technology decided to stop working. But here we are. We're working on building a casino-based Alexa skill right now. But there's also the same casino, similar casino, as a chatbot that is running in the chat. And so if you like playing those kinds of games, you can do things like balance to see how much money you have. I have 23,000. There's also poker, and you just want to indicate a bet, like 5. and that will tell you how many coins you're betting. If you don't indicate something like 5, then you will bet half of whatever your stack is. So just a warning on that. And that's by design. I want people to make major risky bets. It used to be 1, and that felt very boring, and so we decided to change it to half. So there's poker, there's slots, so you can do that. Sorry to hear about Nightmare Assistant Team View Select. Did I do slots? I thought I did that. Nope. Now I did. So lost 5 on the slot machine, and then there's also roulette, and you have to indicate a bet and a position. So we'll do 4. I did not win on that either. So those are all the games that are currently available right now. But Zeva, I'm glad you're here, and if you want to play some of our games or participate in the chat, every time you post a message, you earn 1 more coin. So there's also some benefit to doing that. Anyway, so that's what's going on with the chatbot. In the meantime, we're working on building a poker interface, and I still don't know why my skill is not responding. It's very odd. So, why? I'm not getting the normal kind of response that I would expect. I have this response object. This is what it passed back. At least I think it is. Let's take a look at this. If I just take this, and we come over here. If you guys haven't done this manual JSON, this is how I can just send. Or I guess actually what I want to send is this. Starting endpoint stuff. But there is no valid prompt variation to choose to request information from the user. Please verify the dialog definition. Oh, I see. It thinks that there is an issue with like dialogue management. So maybe... Welcome to the Chatsino. What would you like to do? And then we come in here and we say... please verify the dialog definition or the updated intent if one was sent. TeamView, no. No, that's not a thing. Spying it would even be like impossibly hard. So, no. Okay, there's no valid prompt variation to choose the request from the user. All right, well, let's go look at our interaction model then, because that seems to be where the issue is. But I just said, let's verify this. When I did this, all I said was, hold the 8 of clubs. So if I say here, hold the 8 of clubs. Getting all this stuff. Did I? Oh, you know what I might have forgotten? Did I do it down here? I probably didn't. This is my issue. Poker, hold, intent. Did not add it there. And it's intent handler, Jeff. Handler. Okay. Let's try one more time with testing this, because I really feel like this should work. Open Chatsino.
Welcome to the Chatsino. What would you like to do?
I want to hold the 8 of clubs, please.
There was a problem with the requested skills response.
Today is just not my day. I've had a bad go of it the whole way. It somehow thinks that the response builder is empty, but it's not, because it's right here. Does anything else work? It feels like if that doesn't work, nothing should work. Bet 5 on slots. That's not going to work because the skill's closed.
You have video. Welcome to the Chatsino. What would you like to do?
That's working just fine. So it's none of the outer rigging.
You got cherries, bell, orange. You won 15 coins. What do you want to play next?
Thank you, TeamView. That was fun to do yesterday, that interview. So I won 15 coins. That's what I would expect. When I say bet 5 on poker, it does the thing it's supposed to do.
You already have an active game of video poker waiting for you. You wagered 100 coins. You already have a winning hand. You were dealt 10 of clubs, 10 of spades, 8 of hearts, 5 of clubs, and 2 of spades. Which cards do you want to hold? There was a problem with the requested skills response.
Do I have... I wonder if I just have some dialogue management in here that I don't need. This is the issue. I'm confirming the slot. I'm just going to turn that off. I think that was the issue, is the intent confirmation, where I wanted to be like, are you sure you want to hold the third and first? But honestly, what I'm going to do is they can hold and flip around and change whatever cards they're holding as often as they want. And then at some point, they'll say deal. Or deal the cards or whatever. And that's the point at which... it will then evaluate their cards. So we have another intent here. This one that is poker deal intent. This will be the one where they say things like, give me more cards, or draw, or deal. No, that's give me more cards is not actually accurate. But draw or deal are words that they would want to do. So they are told what cards they have. They say hold the first one and the fourth one, or the ace of spades and the king of whatever. And then it says, okay, I've held those cards for you. Say deal to do whatever. I think that's probably how it's going to work. Okay. So I think we're probably in business now. Let's verify that. So if we open our casino again.
Welcome to the Chatsino. What would you like to do?
I would like to hold the 8 of hearts.
This is the poker hold intent. What do you want to play next?
Okay, so that is that was the issue. I couldn't figure out why we were breaking, but I forgot that I put that intent confirmation stuff in there. So okay, so we're good. So now we're in the poker hold intent, and we're getting to the place we want to be. So now we need to get some specific information. So the specific information we need is resolved words for. So let's do action type. This is going to be, are they holding or are they dropping? So this will be get resolved words. And I believe this is all right, but we need this to be whatever I called it. And we called it hold type. Okay. Hold type. So this little helper function that I've built, what this does, get resolved words, please, is it digs through the interaction, the JSON that we receive, looks for this slot value, and then finds the resolved words that came through. And so this will give me the first value, which there should only be one match. The options are drop or hold. You're not going to match both of those. So that is action type. Then we're going to have const card suit. And this is helper.getResolved words, handler input. This is just the JSON being passed through. And then this one was called card suit and card value. Okay, card suit. And then we have const card value. Now, for all of these, we want the resolved words, and there's a reason for this. If you guys haven't done a lot with Alexa before, and this is going to be card value, like so. Okay, so the reason that I've broken them down this way with the suit and the value and whatever else is because if the user says hold the 8, or probably more importantly, hold the 8s or the kings or whatever, if I did these as one set of 52 card names as a slot in Alexa, then when they say hold the 8, what I would do is I would get 4 resolved values, and I would have to figure out which one is the most important, but I wouldn't really know, and I'd have to compare all 4 of those to what they actually have in their hand, and it can get kind of messy. So what I can do here is I can make some inferences, because I've broken these down this way, so that if the user says hold the 8s, they haven't given me a suit, which means that the suit property, the suit value that I'm pulling there, won't exist. And so if you say 8 and you don't indicate a suit, I'm going to assume you want to hold all of the 8s in your hand. If you say hold the ace of clubs, though, now I know you have both a suit and a value. Now I'm just going to go look for that one card. And when I find that one card, I'll hold that one card for you. Trying to think about how I best represent this with voice, though. Boy. If you hold the 2 aces, so you have ace, ace, 9, 4, 2 or something, you say hold the aces. I say, okay, I've held the ace of clubs and the ace of hearts for you. Do I still need to tell you what the other 3 cards are in your hand? I probably do. Yeah, I'll have to say, okay, you're holding the ace and the ace. You're not holding. I'm going to have to do something like that where I tell you about all 5 cards. Okay, so I think that's the plan. So the first thing we need to do is say, what's the first classification I really need? I guess do I need a separate function in the bot for hold and drop? Probably not. I can do that for either, right? I don't think I should take any of the logic and put it here. I think all I really want to do is say const result equals chatsino dot poker dot hold. I think that's what I want. And then what have I done in other cases? I pass in the user and the wager and other things. So I think I'm going to do session attributes.user. That passes in my user object. I don't care about wager or any of that stuff. I'm just asking them to hold the kinds of cards that they want. So we're going to take action type. I think we'll just take all of these. Action type, card suit, and card value. And so those... This does not work if they say first and third, but that's okay because I'm not really excited about supporting that anyway. So we have this result, we have this function called hold that takes a user, an action type, a card suit, and a card value, which may or may not be empty. So we'll uncomment this because this will be our result coming back. So our next step needs to be inside poker, wherever that is. Poker's here. I need to create a hold function. Okay, so async function hold. And this is going to take user, action, suit value. And then down here we need to do a module.exports hold. So that file now exists. Now we need to tell its index file that it exists. So we'll have to put a Wow, a straight. I wish you'd bet more, Kevin Evans. That's pretty awesome. That's 10 to 1 odds. Const hold equals require hold. Oh. And then we need to export it. Hold, comma. So that's good. So poker now includes hold. Chatsino.poker.hold. And I can say user action suit value. That's all perfect. Your wish is my command, Kevin Evans. Let's do that. Give Kevin Evans. I didn't tell us. Type your name right. Give Kevin Evans. How about that? That work? Nice. Okay, so Kevin has a few more coins. So back here in Codeland, I have my values. I have my, let's call this action just to be consistent. Action suit value, and on the hold side we have action suit value. So that's all great. Okay, so I'm going to write some pseudocode here just so we can get our heads around this. If there is no suit or value, we can't do anything. No, that's not true. That's not true. If there's no suit or value, we will use their command to hold or drop all. And we should probably tweak up our model to reflect that a little bit. So in here, in the poker hold intent, I have a number of utterances, but we have, let's change that to all. Or no, let's just get rid of it. Hold type, we could do that, which is just drop. We could also say hold type all. I'm not going to know that they said all. It's just a way. We could also do hold type everything. And we'll do one more. Hold type all of them. Hold type all of the cards. So this means that if they just indicate a hold type to me without providing any other information, and I'm actually going to get rid of these position ordinal ones for now, and position number, because I'm not using those and I don't want it to get confused. So if you just say hold or drop, or hold all of them, or drop all of them, or hold everything, I'm just going to get the hold type. And so if I only receive a hold type, I'm going to hold all of them or drop all of them. And otherwise, if you just say like ace of spades, if there's no hold type indicated, I'll assume you hold. I think that's reasonable. Hey, Mr. Smoofy, welcome, welcome. Is Jan Blank still here? I know we had a new guest here this morning. I didn't know if that person stuck around. It's always nice to have new people here in the channel. Okay, so I think that will be the assumption. Hold the card value. So I need to add a few more interactions that include the hold type. Hold type, hold heart 7. No one's going to say that. And I have hold the 7 of hearts. We'll just do hold card value card suit. That's a good one to have. Okay, I think that's pretty robust. I think Alexa can figure out what I want from there. It's quite all right, Gold Zulu. It's been a rough morning, actually. I got started about 20 minutes late because all of my technology stopped working. Um, it wasn't a power issue or anything like that. Just didn't like nothing seemed to want to work. So let's get rid of this. Delete. Delete. Okay. Will you save now? Restart the build. My lights wouldn't turn on the way I wanted them to. The streaming PC, TeamView, it honestly felt like some kind of something. Maybe I had a power surge where we didn't have any storms or anything. But it definitely felt like literally everything was shut down, and obviously everything's plugged in. Most of the stuff is running all the time, so it was very odd to me that nothing was working. But I think we're good now. I think we're on our way. We had to get through it, and it took me about 20 minutes really to get everything back up and running the way that I wanted it to. So we are training our model. We're almost there. TeamView seems like if you had to go to this diagram, right? No, let's go find a good diagram of it. I like this bread one. This is a good one. You've got lawful good, neutral good. We've talked about these things before. I didn't want that to happen. Go back. I'm starting to get the vibe that TeamView Select might be in the chaotic neutral to chaotic evil camp. That's kind of what I'm getting. How is the leaderboard doing apart from W. Giorgio? I don't know. Let's take a look. I haven't run the leaderboard in a little while. Did the casino stop working? The machine's asleep, but man, everything is failing me today. This machine is not supposed to go to sleep. Let's see if we can fix that real quick. Okay. What language is what in TeamView Select? What language is the bot in? Everything I've written lately, like last year or so, has been in Node. So it's all JavaScript. So let's try that again. Leaderboard. Do I have to stop and start it again? Very odd. Yeah, no, everything that I have is in a weird state of development. So it's not surprising to me that things stop working. It's just disappointing. Okay, well, look at that, just won 5 points. So leaderboard should work now. It seems like it's choking on the Alexa bot, so let me kill her for a little while. No, Airtable's working. Airtable's working fine. I think, like, if I do poker, I think like the casino's working fine. But it's like all of a sudden it doesn't like that command, and I don't really know why. We haven't changed that code in forever. Interesting. Well, I guess the leaderboard doesn't work for right now. But we can always just check balances, right? Gold Zulu's got a pile of gold. All right. So let's get back to what happens if we have this stuff. So if they give me no suit or value, we'll use their command to hold or drop all. So let's start with that. If no suit and no value, well, the first thing we need to do is get their hand, right? Because there's also the what if they don't have a hand? What if they say this but they're not even in the middle of poker? So we should probably also get that information. Do you think it's a value in the database? That would actually be remarkable. No, this is the wrong one. User, he has 6 million. No, that should be fine. So, no, I think he's fine with values. Okay, so we have to first say if they have an active poker hand. So that's the first thing we need to do is get their poker hand. And to do that, we're going to call data. Do I already have... I have create poker hand. How do I do this when we do start poker intent? The first thing that we do is we call play. So let's look at poker play. And in here, we are getting games by user record ID. And in this case, I'm looking for just video poker games. So this is pretty much what I need. If they have an active game, then let's grab it. So let's do that over here. So this is our active game. So if active game.length is greater than 0, then this is where we're gonna do our work, right? This is where, okay, they have a game, we're gonna do stuff. Otherwise, we need to return a code that says, like, how do we what do we say here if they don't have an active game? We're going to do something like this. Where we just say no, let's see, no active game. Is it? Let's look at something here. No, we look all right. Cleveland doesn't look all right, but I look all right here in Columbus. It sounds like it's thundering outside. That's why I was checking. TeamViewer, you got to drop the @ again, little parsing things that I just haven't done. But yeah, just don't put the @ on there and you'll find me. There you go. So, okay, so back to our pseudocode. So if they have an active game, great. Otherwise, I don't know what their wager is, but I don't really care. All I need to do is say no active game. And so that means on the poker hold intent side, we can start bringing out our switch statement. And so this is going to be no active. Goodness. No active game. And in here, we're just going to tell them. I don't think there's a whole lot we need to do. We just need to say, like, speak, output. You tried to hold some cards in poker, but you don't currently have a game of poker in play. To start a game, say something like bet 5 on poker. Okay, so that solves our, I don't need this invalid wager state. Now why did the leaderboard work for you, Gold Zulu? That was great. I don't understand. I wonder if there's some issue with me. You tried to hold some cards in poker, but you don't currently have a game of poker in play. To start a game, say something like bet 5 on poker. Okay, so no active game state is more or less working. Now what we need to do is say, great, they have a game. Now we can do some interesting things. So the first thing that we want to do is say, if there's no suit and there's no value, let's take this up with it just so we remember what we're trying to do. So this is if they have an active poker hand. We've established that. User.fields our record ID helper. I don't have any of those things in here, so let's do that first. Let's const helper equals require helper. Okay. And also, it looks like I also need data. So let's do const data equals require data. Okay. Yeah, 6 million coins is a lot, Texas 2010. So data is data, helper is helper, so these should just work now. Data recognizes, helper recognizes, good. Okay, so we're looking good. We have the things that we need. We're checking if suit and if value don't exist. And this is so weird. I'm not sure if I want to toggle this on. I think it's going to be the same almost no matter what. And I'll probably even use those terms. Oh, you know what I could do to save myself some time? Poker hold intent. When I pass these values in for the action and the card suit and the card value, I should just pass the top .name .value. We should do it this way. This will make my life easier on the other side. Name .value and card value name.value. Okay, so now I'm just passing in the actual values instead of the array of items that I pulled. So in here, if not suit and if not value, then we want to use the action to update our hand. So let's take a look at what's going on inside of our data for our hand. So if I look at game, am I bringing that stuff up? I'm in the wrong table. Hold on. So if I go to this one, and we look at game, I am bringing the opening hand stuff up. So opening hand is the thing that I care about. And what I need to do is grab opening hand and get it back into an array, because this is technically a string right now. Okay, so we're going to say let opening hand equal active game dot opening hand. And I think we're going to have to that. And then what I'd like to do is do a console log with an opening hand. Okay. Let's see what happens there. So now we should be able to at least interact with this and get to a interesting place with our test. So in here, I want to say hold the 8 of hearts. I would expect an error. That's fine.
Now.
Let's see what the error is, though. Cannot read property value of undefined. This is in poker hold intent line 10. Oh, well, yeah, of course I can't do that, because if it doesn't exist, then I can't pass that in. But I did say hold the 8 of hearts. There should be values for all of those. Oh, because it's not name. Is it name? What does it look like? Card suit hearts. Card value 8. Hold type. Hold type values. Value.name, and I'm doing name.value. That's why. But I can already see how this is going to be a problem. Maybe I can't. Value.name. Yep, I'm already going to do it this way. I have to do it this way because I don't actually know if those things exist, and I don't think I want to do all the parsing on this side. Maybe I do. Maybe that's where we end up. Action card suit card value. Okay. So over here, now I need to say if suit and value don't exist, we should be able to get to our console log this time. Hold the 8 of hearts.
This is the poker hold intent. What do you want to play next?
I hear you. I hear you. Let's see what our did we not get into my case? Opening hand. So if suit doesn't exist and value doesn't exist, except that they do exist, that's why. We can do this at a higher level. If the active game exists, then the opening hand exists. Doesn't matter what those cases are. That's why I wasn't hitting there. So let's do that again.
This is the poker hold intent. What do you want to play next?
That's fine. Where's my opening hand? If active game.length... What? What did I do in play? If active game.length is greater than 0. That works. If active game.length is greater than 0, then we're going to do this stuff. I mean, I guess I should check and make sure I have an active game, but I thought I did. So if I go to user, well, I can just look at game, I guess. I have a video poker game that is active. Why is that working but not working? Somehow we're not even getting into our case. I am not feeling well today. All right, let's give this one more run. I don't understand why this isn't working. Hold the 8 of hearts.
This is the poker hold intent. What do you want to play next?
Okay, there's my active game. Oh, I see. Because it's not active game 0, it's active game 0.fields. I always forget that. Okay, so we can let that settle down for a little bit. And let's go do this again. Hold the 8 of hearts.
This is the poker hold intent. What do you want to play next?
And I'm seeing object, but I'm seeing an array of things. That's perfect. That's kind of what I expected. And the opening hand has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 objects. So what we want to do for each of the card values is we want to hold the ones, well, this is when we don't have anything, so we're going to set hold to all of them. So I think we could just loop through our opening hand. So we'll do for let I equals 0, I is less than opening hand dot length I plus plus. We're going to say opening hand I dot fields, and this is where we need, well, I guess we don't really define that in the database, which is good. I don't really care about that schema. All I'm doing is saving this JSON. So if we look at the JSON for this, let's go look at the actual. Is it here? Is it here? Yeah. So this is what the opening hand actually looks like, and you can see that I have an array item that has a suit and a value property, and that's where it's holding the data about the suit and the value. What I need to do is add an additional property to this object that is held. And I probably should do that the moment that I create their opening hand, but we can do it now, and I think it'll still be okay. So held equals true, because I'm holding all of them. So this also then means that I'm going to have to update their hand and save it into the database. What makes sense, Kevin Evans? The idea that I'm setting a held property? I think that's the way that I've got to do it. Then I have to save that data back to the database, which I guess I had to do anyway. So what I should probably do is just have I have this create poker hand, and this is where I save their opening hand and their deck and everything. Yeah, I think held property makes a lot of sense for this. But what I should probably do is when I'm creating their poker hand, which is in play, I should probably, let's see. Excuse me. Where do we create our deck? Create poker hand is a function. So let's look at create poker hand. No, this is where we do that. That's not what I want. If we look at play again for poker. This is where I have this card, deck.create, deck.deal. So deck.deal is what needs to add those properties, the held properties. And this is where I have the hand and the deck. So that's not even where I want to do it. So hand equals deal outcome dot hand. Deck.create just creates my deck of cards. Let's go, I guess we'll look at that too, but this is where I create the deck of cards. So I have suits and values, I loop through, I do the whole thing. Then I have deal. I need a way to... I'm just pulling those 5 cards off, but I feel like I need to iterate through those and set the held property to false. So we'll have to do something like that here. So for let I equals 0, I is less than hand.length, I plus plus. And in here, we're just going to say hand.held equals false. M2dev.net is not a train going by. It is a lawnmower. I have been someone that travels a ton for work for years, since like 2006, 2007. And so way back then, because I was traveling and I just couldn't keep up with the lawn and stuff in the summer, I hired a lawn service to come cut my lawn. And the problem I have now that I'm not traveling is that I don't even own a lawnmower, because it's just been one of those things that we've built into our budget, and we've had it running for quite a while. And so now I'm stuck in this thing where, not even stuck, like, it's nice to not have to mow my lawn, but I feel bad having someone mow my lawn when in fact I'm home and could do it myself. Usually the reason that I'm doing that is because I travel so much and can't be here as regularly as I would like. So that's what you're hearing, is a lawnmower going by. Okay. So now I want to go back to my data, and let's set my game to completed or something. Let's just get rid of this record. Because what I want to see now is if I come in and test this and I say bet 5 on poker.
You already have a winning hand. You were dealt 9 of clubs, 9 of diamonds, 4 of diamonds, 2 of diamonds, and 2 of spades. Which cards do you want to hold?
Okay, so if I go look at my data now, I should see a held property on all of those cards. and I don't. This is the one that was just created, right? Should be the last one. Oh, I see what I did wrong. For deal, this needs to be hand I held. Okay. So let's get rid of this record. And these records. And the records that are in here. Okay, let's go back and bet more, 5 more, see what we get.
You already have a winning hand. You were dealt King of Spades, Jack of Spades, Jack of Hearts, 8 of Spades, and 4 of Diamonds. Which cards do you want to hold?
Now if we look at these video poker hands, yeah, see how they have a held property now? Held is false, so that means that by default they'll always have that held property, and then I can set that to true or false and always check against it, but it'll always be there. That was something that I was concerned about getting into. Okay, so now I can set, because they said hold all of them, what's the best way to do this? Probably just drop it here. If m2dev.net, thank you for the follow. I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. If you're not already playing in the casino, you can see a bunch of people are betting fake money. It is completely fake money, and you earn it by posting messages in the chat. So all you have to do is participate in the chat. You'll earn a coin every time, and then of course you can gamble with those. So there you go. That's where we're at. So I need to check against my action. And this is where I need to do action 0.value.name equals hold. We could probably just do something like this. Else. So if you said hold, I'm going to hold all of them, and if you said drop, then I'm going to say drop all of them. So let's verify that that works, because I think we have enough. Well, it's still going to give me an error for not letting me know what's going on. But let's, okay, so we now have this opening hand stuff. We're setting to true or false, so we should at least be able to see that that works. I might not get the responses that I necessarily want from the skill, and that's fine because we haven't written any of that yet. So I bet 5 on poker. I have this hand, and I say hold.
This is the poker hold intent.
Well,
What do you want to play next?
Of course, I won't see it change in the database. I'm not saving it to the database. So down here, once we've modified our opening hand to whatever it is, we need to save our opening hand. We need to save our opening hand. So we need a new function up here. We have create poker hand. What we really need to do is like an update poker hand. So let's just take this, save as. Update poker hand. I spelled that right. That's good. This needs to be update. We don't know the properties and things we're sending in yet. Update poker hand. So much plumbing to do in Node when you want stuff to work. Update. Update poker hand. update poker hand. Okay. What is this file actually going to do? So in here we need to well, let's just go to the API because I love doing this. So let's go to api.airtable.com. Maybe. Dude, I really don't mind swearing, but like there's no reason to go crazy. Let's there's certainly times and reasons to swear, but no need to be obnoxious about it. Alright, I'm going to my video poker table. This is the thing we're updating, and we want to update a record, single record, and we want to go to JavaScript. So what I do for updating is I just call update, and then I pass it the record ID. And the only thing that I care to update is the opening hand, so that should work well. Okay. So in here, this is going to be update. And what I'm going to do here is just have what information? We have the whole game. So if I'm calling is it data? Data.update. Const is hand updated equals await data dot update poker hand. And what I really need to do in here is just send it. I'll send it the whole game so that I have that. So that's active game. And then the new hand, which is opening hand. And that's the new array with the new values, whatever. And this will happen for so if I pass in the opening hand, this will update not only for this, but this will be the way that I update it when I like save their cards and stuff. So when I change out their cards. But that also means that I should have the deck, because the deck will change. In this game, it's just going to be active game 0 dot fields dot deck. I think that's what it's called. Game deck. Cool. Okay. So this way we're always passing in the game itself, the new opening hand, and the new deck, which may or may not may or may not be changed. But for this case, the opening hand is changed, and so when we call update poker hand, we're expecting the game, the hand, and the deck. That's perfect. For the update function, if we go back and look at that API, the update function takes the first parameter is the record ID. So for this, we're going to have game.fields.record ID, comma, and then the next piece of this is an object, and all I want is opening hand. So opening hand is the only thing that I care about. No, I have to do deck also. So we have to pass in hand and deck, where we're updating those. And then we're going to resolve the record. So hold is not actually is hand updated. It's I just realized this is bad. Okay, I'm calling video poker, which is good, but I'm thinking that it's the game. So this is going to be. But that's not the thing that I'm going to update. I also need. I need to do like active game. Dot fields dot opening hand equals opening hand, and active game 0 dot fields dot deck equals deck. Which in this case shouldn't really change, but I want to make sure that I'm updating that stuff because it'll be valuable later. So we're calling update poker hand. We're passing in the game ID, the hand, and the deck. So I feel like this is all going to work. This should work. Okay, let's go see if it works. Let's say hold.
This is the poker hold intent. What do you want to play next?
Cannot set property held of undefined. And that's in hold.js. I'm sorry, what? Oh, because it's not fields. That should be an easy fix. Hold.
This is the poker hold intent. What do you want to play next?
Field opening hand cannot accept a value because the field is computed. Well, I agree with you, except that update poker hand is talking to video poker. Video poker is not calculated. This is the table that I'm trying to update, and this is very editable, isn't it? So what am I doing wrong? We have in here, we're talking to our database. We're saying that I want to update the video poker table. Airtable error, field opening hand cannot accept a value. I don't understand. Is it a calculated field somehow and I'm not aware of it? Long text, that's what it looks like to me. Deck. I'm not updating the game record. These are calculated. But that's not where I'm trying to update it. Why? Oh, because I'm passing in the game.fields.recordID. Jeff. Okay. What we want is the record ID for the video poker game, which I don't have. I do have it. It's .video poker. Okay, so game.fields.video poker. Let's see if that does what we want. I think this is just a data structure issue. Hold.
This is the poker hold intent. What do you want to play next?
Deck is not defined. That's fine. Deck is not defined in hold. That's a new error. We can deal with that. And it's talking about deck right here, but deck. Oh, I don't have deck. User action suit value. So what I need is active game fields deck. I don't even really need this because I'm not updating it. Okay. One more time. Hold.
This is the poker hold intent. What do you want to play next?
Video poker. Held true, held true, held true, held true, held true. Okay, so now let's go drop.
This is the poker hold intent. What do you want to play next?
False, 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 false. Okay, cool. So that's pretty sweet. So now we have the ability, when you say hold all, let's make sure those things work too, but they should. Hold all.
This is the poker hold intent. What do you want to play next?
True, 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 true. Okay, so we're setting those held values to true and false depending on what the user has indicated. Now the thing that we haven't built, and I have 10 minutes left, so let's see if we can do it. If the suit and the value are nothing, then that's when we do that. But if there's a value, let's start with that. Else, if no suit, then what we're going to do is something very similar, right? We're going to loop through the 5 cards, and if we find one that matches our value, then we're going to hold it. So we're going to loop through the opening hand, and this time we're just going to say if... Oh yeah, we got to keep the hold. If there's a hold, this is where we start getting into deeper and deeper nested conditions, but I think that's okay. If they said hold, I guess we could do these together. And what is that called? Value 0 dot value dot name. What do the values look like in here? This is value dot name. We'll have to do some case matching on it. Equals opening hand I dot value dot name dot to lower case dot to lower case. If those two things are true, then that card becomes held. Otherwise, well, I got to be careful about this. I don't want to just assume that everything gets set to false automatically, because it does not. If they just say hold the ace of clubs, or if they say hold the aces, I shouldn't mark everything else false, because they could have already held something. All I should do is just mark those as being held. So I'll take this case like this, and then we can't just do an else case, but we can say if it was drop, then we're going to set it to false. Drop the aces or whatever. Okay, so let's look at our hand and see. Our hand is King, Queen, 8, 5, 2. That doesn't work very well for me. So let's make this also a king. We have the spades king, and we have the diamond king. Okay.
That's fine for this test data. That will potentially go wrong when we have the whole deck and shuffle cards and do stuff like that, but it's fine. So now I have 2 kings. So let me just say bet 5 on poker just to see what it says about my hand.
You already have an active game of video poker waiting for you. You wagered 5 coins. You already have a winning hand. You were dealt king of spades, jack of spades, jack of hearts, 8 of spades, and 4 of diamonds. Which cards do you want to hold?
King of spades, jack of spades. Isn't that the... I thought this was the hand I just edited. Did I do the wrong one? I did. Okay, so we have pair of jacks. That's perfect. So they're all held true right now. Let's set them all to false. So we'll just say drop.
This is the poker hold intent.
Obviously, we'll have responses.
What do you want to play next?
But they're all unheld. So now if I say hold jack.
This is the poker hold intent. What do you want to play next?
The jack is held, and the other 3 cards are not held. That's perfect. We should make sure, like, we can also say I need to go into my slot values, because if we look at values, slot types, and we look at card values, I have king, queen, jack, whatever, but I also need this to be like kings. No, not there. Kings and queens, jack, tens, nines. I don't know if this won't work, but I want to make sure we get it right. Sevens, sixes, fives, fours, threes, twos, and ones. Okay. This can go away, this can go away. Let's save our model. Let's build our model. Kevin Evans, thanks for coming, man. Thanks for the hangout. Good to see you. Okay, so we're building. We should be able to say hold the ones or hold the twos or whatever. In this case, I'm just going to say drop while we're waiting. That should drop all of my cards.
This is the poker hold intent. What do you want to play next?
That didn't work. Why didn't that work? Maybe it's because I was editing it. Drop.
This is the poker hold intent. What do you want to play next?
Field deck cannot accept the provided value. When am I... Oh, because I got rid of that. Well, we're going to have to do it. We'll have to do it down here. But what do you mean you can't handle the provided value? Oh, did I blow something up? I might have screwed something up. Yeah. I definitely did. Okay, we'll just take this deck. Just so there's a deck. We should probably JSON.parse on this. That's probably part of our issue. And let's give it another run. Drop.
This is the poker hold intent.
That sounds like
what do you want to play next?
False, 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 false. Okay, cool. So now we should be able to say hold the jacks.
This is the poker hold intent. What do you want to play next?
Hold the jacks, and we got both the jacks held. All right. We could do the same thing for suits, I guess. You could say hold the spades. That would make a lot of sense, especially when you're trying to do something like a flush or something like that. So we'll add that case. That's when you say hold the spades, but you provide a suit, but you don't provide a value. So this will become if there's no value. All of this is the same. The difference is I want to check the suit.value.name. And the suit.value.name and the suit.name. Okay, that should work. So if we come into here, what do we have? We have 2 diamonds. So I'll drop everything again, and then we should see if no, we have 3 spades. We'll try to hold the spades. So let me drop everything first. Make sure that's still working.
This is the poker hold intent. What do you want to play next?
So everything is set to false now, and it is. So now we should be able to say hold the spades.
This is the poker hold intent. What do you want to play next?
And we have held, 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 held. We're holding the spades. Awesome. This is really coming together. So the last one is to hold an individual card, which we haven't done yet either. And so let's think about our cases here. If there's no suit and there's no value, then we do this. What if there's no action? Then we assume a hold, right? Yeah, I think how do we want to do this? If, else if, suit and value, if they both exist, then we can do the same thing. And this time, we're checking our, I guess we should check and make sure action exists also. Maybe that's the weird case that I'm forgetting. If there's an action, but no suit and no value, if there's an action and no suit, and if there's an action and no value, finally, if there is an action and no value, I'm sorry, action and suit and value. This is where they're giving me a very specific case and card that they want to hold, and so we're saying if they say hold and their value, oh, I just realized I made a mistake here. Suit value, okay, and then I need the value equals this. That's going to come down here, and it'll be another case like this. And that's the value. I feel like I could write this if statement better. Yeah, let's take this piece out for all of them. So now it's, does the suit and the value match? If it does, then we'll just do another if case that is if it equals hold. false. Dot value dot name equals drop. No. Opening hand dot held equals false. Okay. It's a little more concise. We could probably do that for all of these. So if the suit matches, else, and this is going to be drop, and this is going to be false, and this can all go away. Getting more concise. Okay. This can go away. No. This gets removed. We're doing the same kind of thing every time, huh? This goes away. And then if we didn't have a suit and a value, then we know what we need to do. So those are all pretty good. Oh, I took this stuff out. I didn't mean to cut it. All right. So now we should be able to hold a specific card. And to do that, let's take a look at what we've got. So let's drop everything first.
This is the poker hold intent. What do you want to play next?
So nothing is held, and we want to hold something weird. Let's get the 2 of diamonds. Hold the 2 of diamonds.
This is the poker hold intent. What do you want to play next?
Oh, because it's not the 2 of diamonds, it's the 4 of diamonds. That's good, so that worked. Let's try holding the 4 of diamonds. Hold the 4 of diamonds.
This is the poker hold intent. What do you want to play next?
And now it's held. Okay, awesome. So we're here at 11:06. We've run a little bit over. But we are in a position now where a user can basically cash out. Not cash out. They can hold the cards that they want to hold and get them indicated as held. I think what we'll start on Monday then is the ability for us to let the user say something like deal or draw. And in those cases then it will use the hand that they have to then draw some new cards, run the evaluator against it, and tell them whether they won or lost. So, we are well on our way. I feel much better about this poker now. This is feeling pretty good. There's still some cases that I need to handle. Clarkio with the follow. Thank you. So, things we need to handle. And we'll just leave ourselves some notes. What if the user tries to hold a card that they don't have? What are the other cases here? What if they what if the user, I do these in caps normally. What if the user just says the name of a card without hold or drop? That is that's something important to think about too. I think we'll just assume they say hold if they don't indicate a hold. And Mr. Smoofy, nice win. But I think that's probably it. M2dev.net, yeah, losing your to-dos is painful. What I do is just leave them in the code. This is a note to myself about what I was working on. But then things that are bigger picture things that I can't always do right away, this becomes my larger list of like big conceptual things that need to be done. And you can see that I have a bunch of poker issues here. I've solved a couple of them today. What if the user says hold the tens when they have a pair of tens? How do we handle references to the actual cards? This is done. We did that today. Congratulations, everybody. When a user gets 3 of a kind, 2 pair, tell them what they got. That's still something I need to work on. Why does... Yeah, that's not solvable yet. So all we've really worked on is poker. We'll also need to do a pay table for poker at some point. But this becomes like my bigger master list. And I'm doing this in Markdown. It looks really nice when you publish it out to GitHub or whatever. But then these individual to-dos are things like, hey, right here in this place in the code, we still need to think about this specific problem. I think I need to... I think I'm doing everything okay right now, but I'm gonna have to have the deck come back. So I'm gonna have to return some value. Return some object that's gonna have game. Use game. No, game equals active game 0. We're going to have opening hand come out. So, well, no, I guess that'll be contained in the active game. Anyway, let's just add this as a to-do because I need to wrap things up. To-do. Return an object that Alexa can use to let the user know the current state.
I'm not sure.
I know. Stop. Okay. So I think that's good for today. I like to wrap up with a little bump out to GitHub. So if you guys need to take a look at this or grab it or whatever, you can do it. Poker holds are almost done. Push. So all the changes we just made are all here encapsulated in my GitHub repository. So if you go to my GitHub, you can find me as @Blankenburg pretty much everywhere. But that's going to be it for me today. I'm going to get some lunch before I have a couple more meetings. But I feel like absolute garbage today, so I'm going to try and maybe take a little rest. Who knows? It was a long day yesterday, and today's not looking any better. Anyway, let's do this. Thank you guys all for coming. It's so good to have everybody here. And we will be back again here Monday morning, bright and early, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Don't forget that, Gold Zulu. And APL will be coming. We will most certainly be adding an APL interface to all of this, but I need to get everything working first before I worry about the APL stuff. So we will get there.